bright, star bright, first star I see tonight. I wish I may, I wish I might, to have a baby brother tonight. I would say this over and over and over again as a child, because after I was born, my mom couldn't conceive any other children. But we knew that someone or something was missing from our family. Luckily for us, one day we get a phone call at about 5 o'clock in the morning. I was 4 years old, and a woman on the phone says, I know that you've been looking to adopt, and we have a birth mother here in the hospital, and she just gave birth to twins. Would you consider adopting them? My mom says, yes, we'd love to, and hangs up the phone. She then explained to me what was going on, and we held hands in the kitchen and jumped up and down with so much excitement. We were so happy. Then I ran down the hall as fast as my little legs could carry me to my dad's room. And I jumped on top of him and I said, Daddy, I'm getting 2 brothers, I'm getting 2 brothers. He mumbled and rolled over and said, Emily, it's just a dream, go back to sleep. And my mom followed me in and said, no, it's a reality. And that's the start of how we got my 2 brothers, Blake and Ryan. 3 years after this, we get a phone call from a young woman, and she says, I know you don't know me, but I know your family, and I have been looking and watching you guys for a very long time. I can no longer take care of my baby. Would you be willing to adopt her? And we said, yes, we would absolutely love to. And this is the start of how we got my little sister, Haley. Adoption has been so much of a joy in my life. There's no other word to describe our house after we brought home my siblings other than euphoric. Everyone was so excited for us. My aunts, uncles, grandparents, siblings, all of us, we were so excited to adopt. I would like to talk to you today about adoption, but more specifically, if you ever have an unwanted pregnancy, please consider adoption, because it is such an amazing option and it benefits so many people. Before I get into all the benefits of adoption, I would first like to give you a few definitions. The definition specifically of open versus closed adoption. Open adoptions are when the birth mother has contact face-to-face with the adoptive family, and the amount of interaction is chosen by the birth mom and the adoptive family together. This can mean that you see each other once or twice a week, or it could mean that you only see each other once a year and have dinner together. Whatever works for that family. According to an article written by Deborah Siegel that was published in the Social Work Journal in 1993, adoptive parents feel extremely positive about their child's open adoption. It is clear that open adoptions create really positive family environments, but so do closed adoptions. My family, my siblings' birth parents, decided that they wanted closed adoptions, and we respected that as a family. Now that doesn't mean that we have no contact with one another though. We still communicate with them through email, and we send lots of pictures and things like flowers and charms on holidays. So now that you know a little bit about the difference between open and closed adoptions, I would like to talk about the roles of the adoptive family and the benefits that come to adoptive families. Adoptive families, you may be surprised to know, have to go through a huge process before they are able to adopt. They have to be fingerprinted, go through extensive background checks. They also have to have someone come into their home and make sure that it's safe for a child. They also have to go through counseling to ensure that their marriage is stable enough to support an adoption. Not only this, those are just the legal things, but many adoptive families also choose to pay for things for the birth mom, such as her clothing, her food, her housing, her utilities, anything that she may need while she's pregnant. My family also chose to provide counseling to our birth moms after she has given birth, and this is why. In 2014, Brodzinski and Smith performed a study on the feelings of birth mothers 1 year after placing their baby. They found that when birth mothers have counseling services available to them, they are much happier than they would have been otherwise, and these findings were published in the Adoption Quarterly. This is great for us to know because it shows us that adoptive families love the birth moms and want to support them through everything while they're still receiving this amazing gift of a child. Next, I would like to talk about some of the benefits that come to children who are adopted. There are so many. In an Adoptive Families Incorporated website article written by Kim Gardner in 2019, she mentions that studies have shown children who are adopted have better health, more one-on-one interaction with parents, are more involved in extracurricular activities, and are as well adjusted as their peers. This is amazing because it shows us that developmentally, children who are adopted are at the same level or maybe even one step above their peers. I would like to now show you a video of my siblings and some of their perspectives on their adoption. Oops.
My name is Blake, and I really like to play baseball. If it wasn't for adoption.
I'm Haley, and I love cheer and dance, and I'm so happy I'm adopted.
I'm Red Rose, and I like hers, and I'm adopted.
I'm adopted.
It is very clear that adoption has truly changed the lives of my siblings as well as many other children throughout the world. It is amazing to see these benefits. Now that I've talked about the benefits of adopted families and the children who are adopted, I'd like to talk about the benefits that come to birth mothers, because there are so many. According to Heidi Smith in 2019, in an article entitled Benefits of Adoption that was published on the American Pregnancy Association.org, she says that women who place their babies for adoption go on to have higher educations, are less likely to fall below the poverty line, and have peace, knowing that their child is in a comfortable, safe, and loving environment where their child is able to receive everything they need and deserve. This is so comforting to birth mothers, to know that they can achieve things in their life that they wouldn't have been able to if they hadn't placed their child for adoption. I would like to just reiterate to you that adoption benefits so many people. It benefits the adopted families, the birth moms, the birth families, and the children who are adopted. If you ever experience an unwanted pregnancy, please consider adoption. Adoption is an option.